Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 8th of June 2022. Bitcoin is down and so is the entire cryptocurrency market once again. Now yesterday, the price of Bitcoin did cross the $31,000 mark and in certain cryptocurrency exchanges, it even passed the $32,000 mark. But the price of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market has fallen down once again. My question today for you guys is Bitcoin apolitical? Now, in theory, Bitcoin is written in such a way by Satoshi Nakamoto that it is apolitical, which means that politicians cannot make or break Bitcoin. But in reality, politicians can go a very long way in supporting or creating hurdles, not just for Bitcoin but for other cryptocurrencies as well. Now, in today's episode, we are going to be discussing where Democrats and Republicans, probably for the very first time, want the US government and the cryptocurrencies to have a better relationship. Now, this is really strange, but that is what the future looks like. So, in today's episode, we would be looking at what the senators, both from the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, are in together. It's more of a bipartisan issue. So, definitely a great thing for the US government and for the cryptocurrency as well. There's also a massive news about SEC, which is going after Binance. And around the same time, Reuters has also very conveniently and timely posted an article on Binance. What the article states is that they're accusing Binance on money laundering. Now, I'm not sure if the news is completely true or not, but what I can say is that mainstream media has lost a lot of its credibility. There's a lot of fake news. One thing which I tell quite often is that we live in a world where having loads of information is not important. Having information from the first source is, and mainstream media is making it extremely difficult for us to go ahead and get access to information from the first source. Hence, we need to look at information not just from Binance or not just directly from any mainstream media, but look at the first source of information of what the SEC filing is all about. Now, I must say that SEC's role is to protect the investors. And if you go to the SEC's YouTube channel, they do provide with a lot of useful information. And they have time and again told blockchain startups and cryptocurrency startups to approach them, and they would be giving them guidelines and they would be giving them directions. There is definitely need to protect investors, especially since the whole Terra Luna situation. So today's episode, we are very briefly going to touch base on that. You'll also discuss some news from Philippines. Now guys, I remember late in 2015 and early 2016, Philippines had the second or probably the third most number of active users, and this was pertaining only to Bitcoin. And at that point of time, I had this hope that, probably Philippines could be taking the lead so far as cryptocurrencies and blockchain adoption or Bitcoin adoption is concerned, but that definitely did not happen. Now, the price of Bitcoin back then was hovering around the $140 to $160 mark, around that same range. But the real good news for today is that there's some kind of partnership that I'd like to talk about with a leading cryptocurrency wallet and the Philippines Basketball Association. And finally, some news about Chainlink. Now, the price of Chainlink is a complete outlier and it has definitely gone up. I believe it's gone up by more than 8% since the last 24 hours. There are two updates regarding Chainlink that we will discuss, and probably that could be the reason why the price of Chainlink has gone up. Now, regarding UAE, I have two news, and both the news are absolutely fantastic. Now, personally, I like what both the companies are doing so far as increasing the understanding and usage of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So definitely great news. The first news is about a UAE female-founded startup has started accepting Bitcoin for public speaking masterclass. So definitely great news. The second one is MasterZ launches Dubai edition at Hult International Business School. Both of them are absolutely fantastic news for Dubai. So welcome everyone, it's 18 here in Dubai and you're listening to Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and lately Metaverse as well. How the series of episodes under Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. This is followed by Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. Every Fridays at 8 a.m. Gulf Standard Time, we have an episode called Metaverse Everything, where we solely focus on Metaverse. So check out those episodes as well. The format for Metaverse Everything is completely different. I also publish a weekly report, so check those out via my LinkedIn profile that you will see in the show notes, or you can also go to the Medium page and look for Blockchain DXB. So let's kickstart today's episode. Today is the 8th of June 2022 and the global crypto market is not looking good. It is down to $1.26 trillion. Remember guys, the market cap of only Bitcoin, not including all the other cryptocurrencies at one point of time, was $1.6 trillion. But today, as of 8 June, the global crypto market, that is the market cap of all cryptocurrencies combined, is at $1.26 trillion. Now, since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.34%. The total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is $90.97 billion. So, since the last 24 hours, it has increased by 24.73%. The total volume of DeFi, once again, is down to $8.34 billion. DeFi accounts for 9.17% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. At one point of time, the percentage of DeFi accounted for 17 to 18%. At one point of time, it also accounted for 21% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. But looks like DeFi is definitely not doing good in 2022. The volume of stablecoins is at $79.46 billion, and stablecoin accounts for 87.35% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. So stablecoins is definitely dominating the cryptocurrency market. The king of all kings, Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin is at $31,163. And what has happened since the last 24 hours? The dominance of Bitcoin has gone up. It is at 47.09%. So I'm not sure how to take this, which just means that there are a lot of coins, a lot of cryptocurrency projects which are not doing good. And Ethereum dominance is currently at 17.30%. The price of Bitcoin since the last 24 hours is down by minus 62%, and since the last 7 days is down by minus 2.22%. Ethereum, aka First World Computer, the price is $1,808 and is down by minus 2.66% since the last 24 hours. Since the last 7 days, it's down by minus 7.45%. Binance coin is in a bit of trouble, which we'll be exploring in today's episode, is down to $289 and it is down by minus 2.02%, and since the last 7 days it is down by minus 10.10%. So generally speaking, the overall cryptocurrency market is not looking good at all. So my question for today is, Bitcoin, is it apolitical? And what are your views so far as right-wing politicians and left-wing politicians are concerned when you talk about Bitcoin or open source technology or freedom? Now, in theory, Bitcoin should be apolitical, but in reality, it is far from different. Now, based on my experience, right-wing politicians and Republicans are generally in favor of Bitcoin, open source, and freedom. And in UK and other parts of the world, conservatives are in favor of Bitcoin, open source, freedom, and innovation. Labour Party is not in favor of Bitcoin at all. There are some really harsh words being said by the Member of Parliament from England regarding Bitcoin. And Forbes has released an article that states for the very first time probably that Republicans and Democratic senators have released a bill. Now what this bill would do is it'll bridge crypto and traditional finance. So definitely a great move. So the bill is called as Responsible Financial Act. This is done by the Democratic Party and Republican Party. So the two US senators who are involved is Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis. Now, Cynthia Lummis is definitely very pro-Bitcoin. People in the cryptocurrency world generally like Cynthia Lummis, so she's definitely very pro-Bitcoin, pro-blockchain, pro-freedom as well. A detailed breakdown and section-by-section overview can be found on Cynthia Loomis's website. What I would strongly recommend you guys to do is just read through a very step-by-step approach. I won't try to explain it now because that might take maybe 20 to 30 minutes, but it just gives you an idea in terms of defining what a cryptocurrency is, what a cryptocurrency exchange is. It's extremely short and sweet, simple to understand. In case you want to find that link, you can also go to my LinkedIn profile, and I would recommend to go and read it yourself. The whole idea about this act is to redefine US government's relationship with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, Bitcoin Magazine, one of the leading publications, also has an interesting take, but I would recommend you guys to go and read through Cynthia Loomis's article so you get a much better idea. But one of the problems I do see is that, do you think it is a good idea for the government to get involved in the first place, or should they just leave it and let the growth and adoption of Bitcoin be completely organic? That would just lead Bitcoin towards the whole moment of separation of money and the state. If that happens, Bitcoin will eventually be a store of value, maybe even a medium of exchange. Or do you think it could be possible that an altcoin, like maybe Ethereum or any other stable coin, dominates the cryptocurrency sector probably in the next decade or so? What is it that you guys think? Drop it in the comments below. The next news is the Security Exchange Commission from US is currently investigating Binance. So what Binance did, they released Binance BNB. This was back in 2017. And Binance at that point of time had this whole IEO, that is initial exchange offering. The US Security and Exchange Commission is investigating if what Binance did, was it actually a security. Now, if that is the case, and if they are most likely to prove it, Binance would be heavily fined. I am personally ruling in favor of SEC. Facts aside from emotion is absolutely critical. You need to understand what Binance did back in 2017, listen to a couple of podcasts, and if you have that frame of mind, you probably might agree with US Security and Exchange Commission, even though you do not like what they're saying. Now, that's not the troublesome part. Reuters, one of the leading, or should I say in the past, they were at one point of time a leading publication, has also accused Binance of money laundering. Now look at the timing of that. That is what is not right. What they are saying based on the article is that Binance is responsible for money laundering of over $2.35 billion, and how Binance has become a hub for hackers, fraudsters, and drug traffickers. I'm not sure when the SEC is investigating this case, if they are going to take into consideration this particular article. Most likely they do tend to look at these things. This does not play in favor of Binance. So Binance, in their blog, has fired back at Reuters, and they talked about the false money laundering allegation and claims that the article is completely misleading. Mainstream media is often misleading, and that's one of the reasons why I suggest is look at information from first source. In case if you want to do your own research, again, I would recommend not to listen to any podcast, not to listen to any YouTube channel, but read through the article by Reuters, do a little bit of your own research, and then read through the blog by Binance. So it gives a thorough understanding of what the actual case is all about. And trust me guys, it will not take more than 10 minutes to do your own research. How do you think this ends regarding the SEC versus Binance? Now personally, I am on the side of SEC, even though that is something which I don't like. But the fact is, SEC might just prove to be right this time, and Binance, to be honest, they might be much better off just paying the fine, because it is a multi-billion-dollar company. And this year in particular has been absolutely great for Binance. The next news is from the East. Now, Coins.ph from Philippines has partnered with Philippine Basketball Association. I believe Philippine Basketball Association might be the second biggest basketball association in the world. So this news is absolutely massive. And I do have a couple of friends from Philippines, a couple of band members from Philippines, and they're definitely into basketball. Looks like this move is definitely going to make cryptocurrencies mainstream. So what's going to happen is Coins.ph brand will be showcased at the premier tournament during the Philippine Cup. So this is definitely massive. The CEO has some really interesting statements on this partnership. So in case if you want to find out more about it, go to bitcoin.com, or if you want to read what that CEO has said, You can also go to my LinkedIn profile and read through the entire article. Again, I do remember back in 2015, Philippines had one point of time had the highest or the second most highest number of active users so far as Bitcoin is concerned. I'm not sure where it went wrong because in 2016 they had a new president, and at that point of time I could not hear much information about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption. But recently, Philippines has elected a new president from an exactly opposite party. This current president is right-wing, and I think, or I assume, is definitely in favor of Bitcoin, open source, and freedom. Could this mean that the usage of cryptocurrencies and blockchain protocols in Philippines increases? I'm definitely lending more towards that. Now, the global crypto market is definitely down, but Chainlink since the last 24 hours is up by over 8%. If you guys follow Chainlink on Facebook, the memes on Facebook are definitely the best in the entire cryptocurrency space. Now, the memes on Chainlink are absolutely funny. Every time I read through the memes, it's absolutely informative and extremely funny. There are two reasons why I think that the price of Chainlink has gone high. The first one is Infuro is joining Chainlink's network as a node operator. So this is one of the reasons why the price could have gone high. The second news is about Chainlink staking program. So essentially, Chainlink is exploring the long-term goals, roadmap, and initial implementation. So if you go through the Chainlink blog, it explains in detail what the new update is. So in case if you are trying to trade on Chainlink, make sure you understand the fundamentals, then you look at the technical analysis and accordingly make any trading based on what you feel comfortable is. Now, moving on to two news about UAE. The first news is about UAE female founded startup is accepting Bitcoin for public speaking masterclass. Absolutely fantastic news. What this program is called as the Speak Easy Club, and I believe this is managed by Castle Forbes Communication. When I did my research, I could not get the information about Castle Forbes Communication, but when I looked at the YouTube for Speak Easy Club, the channel's name is Castle Forbes Communication, so I'm hoping that Castle Forbes Communication is the company behind the Speak Easy Club, and the email is info@speakeasyclub.org. So there are two founding members for the Speak Easy Club, that is Rachel Petter and Kat Hicker. Rachel Petter is from Skybridge Capital, and Hat Hicker is the managing director of Castle Forbes Communication and also the co-founder of the Speak Easy Club. This is the first online course on public speaking, and it's going to be a public speaking masterclass, and they just might be the first ever Bitcoin accepting public speaking e-course in the UAE. So definitely a great thing. Now they plan to launch this by the 6th of June 2022. And once again, it'll be the first online course for public speaking masterclass. Now the price that if you look on the website is $149. So they do have Visa card, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, PayPal. And if you go to the website, it also has an option to pay in Bitcoin. But when you click on that option, it asks you to send an email. Now what I assume is that once you send them an email, they will look at the price when they have received that email, and then accordingly they will quote you a price either in Satoshis or maybe in US dollars, and accordingly you will be in a position to go ahead and make a payment. So it is a great way to start accepting Bitcoin. Now what I do is, in case if anyone, a small merchant, wants to start accepting Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, this is the perfect way to go. You don't need to have an API, don't need to get an exchange being involved. When you start up, you just have to ask customers to drop you an email and ask them how much of it that you want to send via Bitcoin. Do you want to send the entire $149? Or alternatively, in order to attract people to pay via Bitcoin, what the Speakeasy Club can do is you can also say that if you're making the payment via Bitcoin rather than $149, you can just make the payment of $100 using Bitcoin. It depends what point of time do you go ahead and set that fees. Do you set that fees at the time the email was sent or when you have received it? Because the Bitcoin price volatility is so much, the price could fluctuate quite a lot. With the background in tech and finance, both the co-founders decided to facilitate payment for the e-course via Bitcoin, and the first trading online of its kind that will accept cryptocurrency in the Middle East. Rachel Petter has said, "We are big believers in the power of technology to improve people's lives. it made sense to have an online course accepting payment using Bitcoin. So definitely great use for accepting Bitcoin as payment and as a medium of exchange. And once customers send email, maybe they have a fixed denomination that customers can send using Satoshi. Once this is completely set up, in future they can have an API, maybe get a cryptocurrency exchange involved, or you can also start accepting Lightning Network. Now in the near future, maybe the Speakeasy Club can also start accepting stablecoins, and the reason you could do that is to avoid the price volatility, and it becomes easier for the customer to pay using cryptocurrencies and not face the price volatility. The next news is about MasterZ. MasterZ has launched Dubai's edition at Hult International Business School. So MasterZ's website is masterzblockchain.com. It is a brand of AIO Blockchain Lab. So what MasterZ is, it is a business-oriented educational training program and it's completely free. Now, based on the website, it says that MasterZ's blockchain and digital assets is a business-oriented education training program completely free for 1,000 scholarship, and currently there are 1,000 scholarships which is available in live streaming. And last 3 months it enables one to have a clear 360-degree view of blockchain technology and of the world of digital assets. Courses addressed to under 25, I believe they're called as Generation Z, coming from any educational background, that is economics, marketing, STEM, IT, and humanistic studies. So this course is going to start by September of 2022 in Dubai. The MasterZ will enter the UAE market probably around the third quarter of 2022, and it will give hundreds of Hult students full merit scholarships. So definitely great news, and it'll ideally be targeted towards Generation Z. So definitely brilliant news if you look at the economy of Dubai and UAE. Now, Alekos Colombo, the CEO of MasterZ, has said launching MasterZ Dubai Edition and attract the best talents from Hult International Business School, ranked top 15th worldwide, is an added value for our network within MasterZ app. So definitely a great move in educating the people of Bitcoin, blockchain, smart contract, open blockchain, and a lot more. Now, MasterZ is setting up roots in the international markets, beginning with the presentation and offering of hundreds of full merit scholarship in the top 15th university for its MBA program and 31st top university in the overall world ranking according to The Economist in the Dubai campus of Hult International Business School on June 17th during the elective introduction to Bitcoin and blockchain technologies. Now, being Hult a worldwide renowned university, MasterZ adheres to its mission of selecting the best Generation Z talents and top young and senior professionals, providing the most current know-how and therefore increasing the worldwide adoption of blockchain technology. Definitely a brilliant news, especially for Dubai. So great news to educate Generation Z on Bitcoin and open blockchain. More importantly, it is completely free. Now, if you go through the website, they have a really nice approach. They want to define, adopt, design, create, select, deepen, and anticipate the students on Bitcoin and open blockchain technology. What I really like, if you go through the website, the topic involves introduction to blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, blockchain Stellar, smart contracts on blockchain, Ethereum, and Stellar blockchain. They have loads of topics on cryptocurrencies, DeFi, legal framework for blockchain, and DLTs and cryptocurrencies. And they also have corporate use cases, startup use cases, and finally the examination as well. Definitely very, very good. And it's definitely the outlook for Generation Z is extremely positive. And it's great to educate the people on Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrencies. So that's all for today, guys, from Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website, that is area2071.com, that talks everything about metaverse. If you like listening to this, please follow this podcast, click on the follow button, and share the word across. Now for the next 30 minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's kickstart this episode on Ask Me Anything. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to Ask Me Anything series where your listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact on the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of cryptocurrencies. What you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series. You listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a first question, and this first question is by Clive, who asks, how can merchants start accepting Bitcoin? Now, this is a brilliant question, Clive. Now, what I would recommend is, let's say, if you are a startup or a company who just wants to try and see how Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies will work, what I would recommend you to do is, on your website, just put out a sticker that you accept Bitcoin. At the initial stages, let's say if you have less than 10 customers or maybe 10 to 25 customers whom you anticipate will start paying via Bitcoin, you can ask them to drop an email, simple as that. But let's say if you're dealing with retail products and expect a lot more customers, in that case, if your website builder is via Shopify, Shopify takes care of everything else. Or let's say if you are a retail store and if you want to physically buy and sell those products, in that case, you will have to use an API or use a cryptocurrency exchange. Now, the problem with using a cryptocurrency exchange is then you are involving a middle person. And one thing which I talked about yesterday is that Bitcoin is peer-to-peer. Ideally, all cryptocurrency should be peer-to-peer, so there should be no need of introducing a middle person. What companies can start doing is adopt Lightning Network. Clive, Strike is a company by Jack Morris. What that does is, let's say if you have a physical store and customers want to pay you in your local currency. Now, I'm in Dubai, let's say if a customer wants to pay it in dirham, you can set up your business using Lightning Network, which is completely free. So the customer pays in dirhams. At the back end, the app converts those dirhams and transfers funds to you, either in the cryptocurrency that is only Bitcoin or in the regular local currency. The choice is yours, and they do it completely for free. So those are some of the ways. What I would recommend, Clive, is let's say if you're a startup or a small business, I would suggest to start up small. Let's say if your client size is less than 10 or maybe 10 to 20, just mentioning that you're willing to accept Bitcoin, just ask them to drop an email. Now, who gets to decide at what price? There are two ways you can go about doing it. You can look at the price either when the customer sends an email, or you can look at the price when you receive the email or when you're sending it, because there's so much of price volatility. It's crucial to determine when you send out that price. Or what you can do is, class, and this is what I would strongly recommend, ignore the price and you have the price set directly in Satoshis. So forget about the price. You could directly start selling, stating that I'm going to sell this product at X number of Satoshis or X Bitcoins. Does not matter what the price of Bitcoin is. So that is definitely one way to go about it. I have another question by Riz, who asks, is it a good time to buy crypto? Now, Riz, it's always a good time to buy Bitcoin, not necessarily all cryptocurrencies. And first and foremost, this is not financial advice. Now, one thing which I keep saying quite often is all price predictions on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are 100% right, 50% of the time. So avoid listening to any YouTubers who try to shill or promote any particular coin. It is always a good time to buy Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum. What I would recommend is to understand the technology first. Once you understand the technology, then you can make your informed decision. Like one thing which I talked about earlier today is about Chainlink. Based on my research, I found out that there are two reasons why the price of Chainlink has gone up. Had I done the research maybe let's say 3 or 4 days ago, I would have known that Chainlink is going to do this partnership and I would anticipate the price going high. That is the core way of going about it. That being set aside, YouTube influencers might give you a completely different reason as to why the price of Chainlink is going up, and they would be offering you a referral code. You need to be aware of that. So, you need to do your own research. And again, this is absolutely no financial advice. And Riz, one thing which I've noticed time and again in the cryptocurrency world and blockchain spaces, even the top blockchain protocols, they still don't understand the basics of Bitcoin and open blockchain. They need to understand, or everyone, you, me, including everyone, needs to understand when you talk about Bitcoin and open blockchain. Bitcoin has solved double spend. Now, what does double spend mean? It means that the central entity is not in a position to do a transaction twice. And that's the whole idea of getting into Bitcoin, open blockchain, and cryptocurrency. So making sure that there is no middle person being involved. In case of Terra Luna, if you look at it, even though Terra Luna was a brilliant project, but the way it is portrayed is that Do Kwon is considered as a middle person. Now, in theory, that need not be true, but let's say if Do Kwon just puts a tweet stating that he does not believe in Terra Luna project, the price would have fallen down completely. So it also comes with a risk. That's the reason what I would recommend risk is try to understand the technology first. I am not a person who looks at charts and graphs, so you may want to look at charts and graphs later on as well. So make an informed decision based on both fundamentals and technology as well. So again, it's always a good time to buy cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. And there's this notion that DCA, which is dollar cost average, you can definitely try that as well. Some of them, what I know is they do dollar cost average only when the price of Bitcoin is going down. So I'm not sure what the output of that is, but that definitely seems like a much smarter move. So that's all for today, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. Also, please check out my other website, that is www.area2071.com. It has everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this, please follow this podcast, click on the follow button, and share the word across. And remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has impact on the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And finally, we have an Ask Me Anything series that you're listening to right now, where you can ask absolutely any question. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.